All right, so in this little tidbit of Revelation, we're going to be covering a really cool geological evidence, proof, about something in the Old Testament. So, we're going to be starting with Zechariah chapter 14. Now, this one is the Lord comes and reigns. This is foretelling the battle of Gog and Magog, which is also explained in Ezekiel, I think in the late chapter 30s something, where the nations of Gog and Magog and everyone come and plunder Israel. So there's a couple different places in the Bible that reference this battle. And just something in here that's kind of cool. So, chapter 14. A day of the Lord is coming when your plunder will be divided among you. I'll gather all nations to Jerusalem to fight against it. The city will be captured, the houses ransacked, the women raped. Half of the city will go into exile, but the rest of the people will not be taken from the city. Then the Lord will go and fight against those nations as he fought in the day of the battle. On that day, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, east of Jerusalem, and the mountain of Olives will be split in two from east to west, forming a great valley. Half the nation, and half the mountain moving north, and the other half moving south. You will flee by the mountain valley, for it will extend to Azil, which some say means just the other side. You will flee as you fled from the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. Then the Lord my God will come, and all holiness ones with him. So, that's a weird thing. You'd say, like, how could a mountain split in half and then go one direction and the other go the other? So most people would chalk this up to that, oh, it's just biblical prophecy that's completely made up, it's never going to happen or anything. I'm going to show you something. So, yeah. You guys know about tectonic plates, right? Tectonic plates, the kind of the plates that, the Earth floats on the magma layer that's underneath us. So there's all these tectonic plates that all the continents and all the pieces of land sit on, and they can shift, and those are fault lines, okay? Follow me so far? Plates, fault lines. Here is a map, and this is on Wikipedia, of the world fault lines. If you look at tectonic plates and Google it, you'll find this. I'm going to zoom in. This shows the arrows and directions of where the tectonic plates are moving and where they are. Let's go take a look at where Israel is. First, the Mount of Olives, as you should know. Here's a map of Israel. The Mount of Olives is right... Zoom in a little bit more. Right here. There's a lake, and this is the Dead Sea right here. And then this is the Mount of Olives, this mountain range above it. Okay? Follow me so far? Dead Sea, Mount of Olives. Okay. Just want to show you that. Take a look right here, and I'll pull you up. Look at this odd tectonic plate right there. You see, the Mount of Olives is right here, right on this line. The tectonic plate, it runs literally right up this mountainside right there. That's the tectonic plate shift right there, from the Arabian Peninsula and the African Peninsula. Look which way they go. This one goes north, and this one is pulling south. So literally, we have the mountain that, should a major geological, like a major earthquake or, with all the earthquakes going on and everything, should occur, you're going to get a mountain split on the Mount of Olives from north to west. So there's sort of the east to west split. Here's the west, here's the east. This side's going to move north, and that side's going to move south. Interesting, isn't it? And I doubt they had these geological masterminds back in the day of, Zechariah that said, oh, I bet these are tectonic plates, which we, haven't really found out about much yet. And, they're just going to predict that, this one's moving north and this one's moving south, which is a completely preposterous thing just to think of by yourself. But I find it a little bit odd that, it makes geological sense. That's one thing. Just want to point that out to you. And of course, this was written, Zechariah is one of the last of the prophets. So that's about 400, 580, I think, somewhere around there. Next thing I want to point out to you, and this involves this same fault line, so that's why I'm combining them in the videos. Let's turn to Isaiah 11. And Isaiah 11 contains two major prophecies. One, it foretold 1946, where Israel was brought together as a nation again, which is something that has never really occurred, that a people has been lost and then brought back together after 2,000 years. 11. A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse, and his roots a branch will bear fruit. The fruit of the Spirit will rest on him, and the spirit of wisdom, of understanding, the spirit of counsel and power, and the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. And he will delight in the fear of the Lord. He will not judge by those he sees with his eyes, or decide by what he hears by his ears. With righteousness he will judge the needy. With justice he will give decisions for the poor of the earth. This is kind of talking about Jesus. Righteousness will be on his belt, and faith on the sash of his waist. So this is foretelling Jesus is coming. The wolf will live by the lamb, and the leopards will lie down with the goats. And the calf of the lion and the yearling together, and the little calf of the lamb, is saying that the holiness of Jesus will be with the sinners. Because, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to skip down a little bit. You can read the rest to 10. Here's the point. In that day, the root of Jesse will stand as a banner for all peoples. The nations will rally to him, and his place will be arrested glorious. In that day, the Lord will reach out his hand a second time to reclaim the remnant of his that is left of his people from Assyria, Lower Egypt, Upper Egypt, from Cush, from Elam, from Babylon, from Hamath, and from the islands and of the seas. So this is where everyone is coming back. All the Israelites are coming back to the land. He will raise a banner for the nation of Israel and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble and scatter the people of Judah from he will assemble the scattered people from Judah from the four corners of the earth, which happened. Ephraim will jealous of a vain, and Judah's enemies will be cut off. Ephraim will not be jealous of Judah, nor Judah hostile towards Ephraim. They will swoop down on the slopes of the Philistines west. Together they will plunder the people of the east. They will lay hands on Edom and Moab, and the Ammonites subject to them. So this is talking now, this part right here, where there's going to be that battle again, where they will swoop down on the slopes of the Philistines of the west, and they will gather and plunder the people of the east. They'll lay hands on Edom and Moab, and the Ammonites will be subject to them. The Lord will dry up the gulf of the Egyptian sea. With scorching winds, he will sweep his hand over the Euphrates River, will break it up into 7 streams so that the men can cross over on sandals. There will be a highway for the remnant of his people that is left from Assyria, as there was for Israel when they came up from Egypt. So this part right here, it talks with a scorching hand. The people, a land bridge will be made for over the Red Sea. Take a look at this Google map right here. You notice something strange right here, right? That's that same tectonic plate. This is the same tectonic plate that separates the Arabian from the African Peninsula. Should, again, the tectonic plate separate, because this is going north, this is going south, and that gap is created, you're going to get magma, lava. And most of this is probably going to be dried up, or at least engulfed to some degree. That land bridges can, again, be created in the shallower part of the river right here. Now this one I'm not going to say is 100% positive. This is just something I kind of find interesting, that how the Bible talks about with the scorching hand, it's going to dry up the river. And there's other parts in the Bible that talks about that they'll walk over on dry land, as they did in the times of Egypt. And of course, it's just kind of interesting that right there in the fault line, you have the 2 plates separating, where you can get into that situation where the entire Red Sea would be swallowed up. So, just wanted to throw those out there. Some little pieces of interesting information. More so, though, the whole point of the mountain things I found amazing. Now, I found this out listening to Chuck Mintzler. He does a Bible podcast, and been going over in his recent podcasts about the end times and some other things like that. I just found that really amazing. So, I just wanted to share that with you, a little bit to think about for those that are Christians. Again, the time is coming. There's all these things happening. The earthquakes, the earth is becoming a little bit unstable. Israel is now a nation, and people are rallying to attack it. So here are some of the things to look out for in the future. But I thought that was really cool, the mountain separating, shifting thing. All right, well, that's it for today. We're going for more Revelation videos, more interesting things. I'm going to try and cover Gog and Magog next time, which again was also explained in a Chuck Missler podcast. Oh, wait, no, sorry. No, that was by a different podcast. David Lake, he's a Irish preacher. Love listening to him. Really cool guy. But anyways, so I'll be covering that one next, so you can kind of figure out who are going to be the people that are going to be attacking Israel. Looking at what the Bible says, the different nationalities, and who those nationalities are today. Take care. This is Trevor, and it's good to be back.